Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. I have with me Mary. She's a poet, and she's going to share some of her insights with us tonight. Her name is Mary Holt. She's a very nice young lady I met at Walmart. We was talking about my podcast, and she wanted to come on. So I'm glad she's here. Mary, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Hello, it's good to be here. Like you said, my name is Mary. Elizabeth's my middle name, and that's what you're going to see on the front title of my new book. I did go ahead and get a little bit of education background. I learned some of my writing skills in an advertising program at the University of Central Florida, and I'm using that to help me give a little bit more emphasis and condense my poetry. I try to have an impact and say as much as I can with as little words as possible. So what I've got here is the manuscript that was just sent an email to me today, that this is going to be the finalized version, and it'll go live in 20 days on 3 different sites, including Amazon for purchase.
Oh, you go, girl. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm actually pretty
That
excited to
is
share some of this with you
exciting.
today.
Oh, awesome. Okay, well, let's get started, girl. And what inspired you to want to write a book?
So my first book was actually in second grade. We had a class project, and everyone got to write their own pages and have it published by um, the end of the school year, and it was kind of our end of the year project. And we did this 2 years in a row at one of the schools I went to, I believe Alethea.
Mhm. Okay, well,
And
nice.
thank you. And it was a fun little project, and it was something I look back on, but I wrote a short story for it, and I had an extra page at the end, and I didn't know what to do with it.
Hmm.
So to fill that page, I ended up just writing a short little poem about bumblebees, and it
Okay.
ended up inspiring me to sort of write poetry and get into that aspect a little bit more.
Okay, nice. Nice. So who was your inspiration?
I take a lot from Shel Silverstein. He was one of my
Hmm.
favorite poets growing up, particularly this one book called Runny Babbitt.
Hmm.
Um, Having a little bit of reading difficulties, Runny Babbitt is a book that switches up the first letter of certain words in a sentence, and it's almost like a puzzle. You have to put it together to kind of read what the poem's about.
Oh, that's pretty neat. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, I'm like I said, I'm excited for you. Seem like you just got, a lot going for yourself. So you to be commended for that. Especially being a young lady and this is your second book. So that has to be very exciting for you and your family. Yes. All right. Well, tell us a little bit about what you're going to share tonight.
So the book itself, it's called Rain Grows Bows, and the subtitle is going to be Embracing Transformations in the Storms of Life. So it's a
Okay.
little bit about accepting reality and trying to seek the best of any situation that you're in.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like it's going to be enlightening for some people. Absolutely, because we all go through something. So all type of encouraging words is needed now, especially now. Hmm. Awesome. All right, so whenever you're ready, you can share.
Fantastic. Would you like to pick a number 1 through 70?
Let's see, 27.
27. All right.
So you have 70 chapters, huh?
So I have 69 collections of poetry, and then there's a
Okay.
little bit on at the beginning. So that would be like the preface. So I did a full collection of 70. They gave
Oh,
me the option to do 71, but I prefer even numbers.
okay.
So, oh, this one's actually beautiful.
Oh, okay.
So I'll turn this around so you can see. Here's the art for it, and it's going to be a poem titled Mother. And so this is a mother and her young child.
Oh, okay. Nice.
This is going to say here, if you like me to read it now,
Yeah, go
or
ahead.
just my favorite part. Okay, I can do
Go
the
ahead.
whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be the first time I'm sharing this poem with anyone outside my editor or my publisher. So this book has not come out yet.
Okay.
I am the nest where people come by to rest. I am the shade, a reprieve from a sunny day. Those solemn rays, I keep at bay. I am the tall glass of light. I am the kite you fly when there's easy wind. I'm the breath beneath a raspy floor. They keep me tamed, and I abhor these shackled chains and asphalt core. I am the stain. They mark my lore. It's not the same as they say. I am in vain. Though when you need a place, I'm always open arms and a warming heart. Yet mine is sold. I fall apart. But if you ever need a place to rest your soul, I'll open up my doors and help to make you whole. Paying tolls for my role of cheering up chores. Even when sore, if duty calls, I carry you home on my back like a pack.
Awesome. That's beautiful, Mary. That
Thank
is
you.
good. Yeah, that was beautiful. You have a nice little
I
talent,
really,
girl.
really. So I myself am not yet a mother, but I try and write from other perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
And so this poem was about how a lot of times um, mothers have to be not only the love and the care, but also the discipline and the heavy hand. When raising a child, you're not always the friend. You sometimes you have to make sacrifices. Sometimes you're seen, as the hard decision maker. Um, and so I wanted to kind of capture that duality of being this gentle and loving and caring persona, but also having to balance that with teaching someone that there is like the harder parts of life and how to get through it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm a mother and a grandmother, so yes, yes, is you have to be the disciplinary, you have to be everything. Yes, all in one. So I completely can relate to that. Yes.
I hope I captured it all right. And I tried to take from multiple like sources when I'm collecting like
Hmm.
ideas of what it would be like to speak from someone else's perspective. And I've got a couple of poems like that in here as well.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that was good. You did a real good job. I can't wait to get your book when you finish it. Yes.
Thank you.
I love poetry. So, like I was telling my friend earlier, I have like 4 notebooks full of poetry. So it's like I'm finally doing something with my writings this year. So I'm in the process of writing a book. I was in the process of writing a children's book, and it was based off of my 2 granddaughters because I have 3 grandkids. And so I'm excited. So I just, got a few things going on right now, but, I'm working on that as well. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. I'd be really excited to see it. Um, Something I really admire is that we always have the ability to kind of do and chase our dreams.
Hmm.
So if writing is something you've always wanted to do, it's just, it's beautiful that you can sort of create things. And I think the hard part is finding that source of inspiration. So if you already have
Hmm.
the inspiration, if you already have the writing, then the hardest part
Hmm.
is really just plug and play, put it in and publish. You never know where it's going to go or who's going to see it.
That is correct. Yeah. Yeah. So I have a love for writing. I love to tell stories. I like to imagine stories, and some of it is truth. You know how it is when you're writing a book. Some can be fiction, some can be truth. So mine is like a little of both. So I'm excited about it. It's always been a passion of mine to write. So, and so besides the writing, what else you have in store for yourself?
Well, I did get a little bit of experience in advertising. So I've thought
Oh,
about doing social media work,
okay.
handling posts, just creative ideas, inspiring campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I drive by billboards and I look and I try and not critique them in my head, but like see what's good about it. What did they put effort into? Does it rhyme? How many words are on there? And just kind of level it out with what I've seen and what I know.
Yeah, that's something interesting. I never thought about that. I look at the billboards, but I never looked at it in that way. Mm-hmm. Now, if you
So
can,
much goes into advertising.
yes,
It's actually wild.
yes, mm-hmm, absolutely. And if you had the option to sit next to anyone and write, who would that one person be?
Do they have to be alive
Yeah, be dead or
or could it
alive.
be someone from the past?
Dead or alive.
Okay. Probably Socrates.
Okay.
If there weren't like a language barrier, if I could just communicate freely,
Mm-hmm.
one of the most influential philosophers. I mean, for this much time to have passed and we're still learning about him in school, I learned about him in philosophy. Um, when someone leaves that much of a mark on history,
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I'd like to meet them. I'd like to write with them and see what their perspective on this is. How much of it is timeless?
Mm-hmm.
Some of it's modern. How much of it's technology? How much of it is just inherently human?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would love to write with Maya Angelou. I just love her stuff. It's just so positive and so spot on, and it can be strong and just to the point. But I just love her writings. So sometimes you'll see me post something that she says every now and again, because I really like her writings, Maya Angelou. Hmm.
See, I could probably pull that up.
Outside of writing, what do Mary like to do?
I know why the caged bird sings. That sounds beautiful.
Hmm. That's from Maya Angelou.
So,
Yes.
mhm. So one of my favorite activities, I would like to call it a hobby, is
Okay.
I make tea. You'll
Okay.
see a lot of that in the book. There are a couple poems about it.
Okay.
I say tea as it's an activity, it's a hobby, it's something to nourish you.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's medicine, right?
Yes.
Um, Something so versatile yet so simple.
Hmm. And
So I've been working with.
I see the
I'm
cup.
sorry.
So what's the meaning behind your name Bat when you have on there E-Bat? I see the bat on the cup. So you're a Batman fan?
So the bat, it actually symbolizes a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Personally, I don't know too much about Batman at the moment, but I always had a passion for loving things, regardless of sort of, I want to say, their reputation. So bats are kind of seen as pests by some people. Um, a lot of people get the ick, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not like the biggest fan of bats. And one day I saw something, I was scrolling through, and it was a picture of a rat and it was a picture of a bat. And the bat, it said, demons to some, angels to others.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically implying that the bat was like an angelic form of rat. It was like a flying Um, marsupials and mammals, but the real aspect for it for me was that they're different.
Hmm.
There are fruit bats and, they call them vampire bats and things like that. But the idea that they basically use sound to see, um, that they live in caves, they live in the dark, they come out at night, just seems like very appealing that there are other ways to live.
Hmm.
And I try and seek that, like I said, other perspectives, seeing things from the perspective of others. And sometimes, like, I think scorpions are really cool, spiders, things like that.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. All right. So now I know the meaning behind the EBAT. Okay. Hmm. That's pretty cool. All right. So you say you're going to have your book published. It's going to be coming out within the next couple of months.
So 20 days it'll go
Oh,
live
wait.
on April 30th.
Okay.
See
All
here.
right. Awesome.
April 2025. So that's going to be on Wednesday, the last day of the month.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say you could probably look for it about May 1st.
Okay. All right. And what streaming platforms you say it's going to be on?
So far it's going to be on Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
and let me see. We've got two more as well. Websites: Bookleaf Store, Amazon.in, and Flipkart.com.
Okay. Okay. Awesome.
And as soon as I get that link, I'll be posting it on all my social media, and I can send it to you as well if you'd like.
Okay. That sounds awesome. Now, what do Mary like to do outside of writing? What's a fun day for Mary?
I think one of my favorite things is to go to the movies. I
Hmm.
did go disc golfing earlier today as well, which I'm learning how to do, trying to get outdoors a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, eating. One of the biggest things for me going to the movies is the popcorn and the candy. And so I try and find a balance,
Hmm.
right? But I am a huge food lover. I will try just about anything, take the time to cook, bake,
Hmm.
and just enjoy it, because it's one of those things about life that it's an everyday thing. So it's easy to get into habits and honestly be bored of it after a while. So I always try and make it new and exciting.
Okay, awesome. I love to eat too, Mary. Oh gosh, girl, I love food. I love trying all kinds of food. Yes.
I tried meal prepping,
Hmm.
um, but I want something new every day, and I never know what I'm gonna want until I want it.
Hmm.
And I don't want to say I'm food impulsive, but that's kind of where I get that. So I do also have I have a couple poems about food in here as well.
Hmm. Okay. Well, it sounds like you have a nice variety, so that's going to be very interesting.
I try to incorporate things that I love
Hmm.
and also things that challenge me, and I try to kind of balance those
Hmm.
both.
That's a good balance. Yeah, that's a good way to to view it and to balance it out. So it'd be nice, and that's going to be good. So how does your family? You have a lot of support from your family and friends.
Absolutely. I was actually just out with my dad and my uncle. They're the
Okay.
ones that got me into disc golfing.
Okay.
They've been doing it for a very long time, and they were around back when the Zephyr was around, which is like the big, thick frisbee that
Hmm.
usually would see like someone tossing around in a park. And they said basically it evolved from this into all these different kinds of discs.
Hmm.
And they were talking to me about like the history of disc golf, and
Mm-hmm.
how they did it growing up, and so I was trying to kind of get into that,
Mm-hmm.
um, not just from like a sports perspective, but recreationally as a way
Mm-hmm.
to get outside more, get some exercise. We walked about 2.5 miles today for the 18
Okay.
hole.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds like it was interesting and a lot of fun. Well, I'm excited for you, Mary. You sound like you got a lot of good things going there, girl. So I'm
I'm actually pretty excited, yeah.
Yeah, you should be. Look at you. I mean, to be a young lady and have such a, experience and publishing your books and, just trying things and doing things that you like. So you ought to be commended because there's so many other things you could be out there doing, being a young person. You could be want to go out dancing and partying and things like that, but you seem like you're setting a good foundation for yourself. So I'm proud of you. That's good.
Well, I think that dancing is very, very important.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I do try and go out and socialize, especially after COVID and
Mm-hmm.
the quarantine and everything like that. It's so easy to fall into this habit of self isolation when you have a computer around or something like that. You can instantly engage with social media. It feels like socialization, but it's not necessarily a supplement.
Mm-hmm.
I find that people are social creatures. It doesn't necessarily have to be dancing, but I find the art in it. So what I do like to go out and do is line dancing. It's like
Okay, I love line dancing. Yes.
mm-hmm, you can kind of learn. I do on the YouTube videos, learn a song, learn the dance, and then
Hmm.
you can go and see everyone doing this coordinated dance together. And there's intermediate, beginner level, and advanced levels of
Hmm.
these dances. Um, and I just find it to be exhilarating because I'm learning something new. I'm getting out there. I'm exercising. I'm meeting people.
Hmm.
Um, but it's also a sense of community. I think it's a form of art, and I don't want that to be lost on me either.
Yeah,
Um,
it is
and
a form of art. I love to dance and do especially the line dances. It can, like you said, it's so beautiful to see everybody coordinate together, and even the one person who step out of line, but then they snap right back in. So so it is, and it's a good exercise too. So that's why I think I like it as well. Hmm.
I think I've actually Control F. I do have a poem about this one as well.
Okay.
Let's see here. It's called Balance.
Okay.
Each of these poems has an illustration besides number 17, which is supposed to, but something happened. Um, some of them I created myself.
Hmm.
This one, I want to say, is one of my favorites in the collection.
Nice. So now, out of all of your writings, which one has made you feel, what is the word I want to say? Kind of like inspired the most out of everything you have there, out of this, out of the 70 poems, which one has inspired you the most?
That's a really great question. I'm just going to run through these real quick
Mm-hmm.
because they're all beautiful. I've got some. Oh, this one's perfect. Okay. I've got some that are about
Mm-hmm.
romance, love poems, feats of feeding. The tree. Oh, the tree one.
Okay.
That one's good.
Okay.
Breathe underwater. Yes. So this one's called Juicy Bouquet.
Okay. I like that name.
And I'll show you the picture because I think it's just adorable. This
Okay.
is, um, I believe it's a pear. It might also be an avocado. I
Mm-hmm.
do know what it is. It is a food, and it's thinking about a tree, right?
Okay. Okay.
A random seed planted in a place where flowers grow. What started were leaves. What would it become? Instead of stems, it grew a trunk, sturdy, brown, and lined with bark. Fruit is born from flora, growing food for thought. When another spring came, the whole tree blossomed.
It's beautiful. I like that. All
Thank
right.
you.
I like the way you have it balanced. Yeah. You just don't have it all just love. You have, yeah, I like the balance.
This is about, so basically it starts with like a random seed planted in a place
Hmm.
where flowers grow.
Hmm.
So we're thinking about a garden. Um, I'm trying to set the scene. So this is like a flower garden, and we're planting this seed, and you don't know what it's going to become, except there's a picture of a fruit, so you kind of do, but it's foreshadowing. And so as this seed is growing, you're expecting eventually, oh, maybe flowers here, maybe flowers there, and it keeps growing and it keeps growing and it keeps growing. You're like, this isn't a flower bush. Where are the flowers? And if you just keep waiting and waiting, once it finally becomes a tree, every single piece of fruit is first a flower, at least in this species of tree.
Hmm.
So instead of it just being a little plant that has a couple flowers on it, now it's an entire bloom, which I can pull a picture up for you. And this is kind of an idea I was going with.
Hmm.
So you're expecting flowers, and this is kind of what these like fruit trees look like when they're in bloom.
Okay.
And it's just these beautiful, and then this becomes fruit one day, right? So this is peaches,
Hmm.
one of my favorites. And it's about the idea that, and I actually keep this as my phone lock screen. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit.
Hmm.
Sometimes to get the more beautiful thing or a bigger, better version of something, you have to wait, you have to water it, you have to
Hmm.
tend to it. And then instead of just being flowers, now it's flowers and fruit. Now you can eat what the tree's bearing. Um,
Yes. And see the beauty. So that's I like that. Hmm. So not only you get to enjoy the fruit, but y'all get to see the beauty of the tree. So that's neat. I like that. You're very creative,
Thank you.
Mary. Yes. Yeah, you could tell you have that creative writing skill. Hmm.
Well, I'm hoping that some of the more intricate ideas aren't lost. Um, I didn't want to do too much or try and leave so much unsaid. I was trying to be upfront with my ideas, but
Hmm.
also provoke thought. So, since it is a work of art, you can perceive it however you would like to.
Hmm.
Whatever fruit tree means to you, maybe growing up there was a particular tree that you would eat fruit from or climb, and maybe that's what you think about, and that's all right. Um, for me, it was oranges because I'm from Florida.
Mangoes for me. We used to have a mango tree, and I used to climb it all the time. I love, I'm from Miami, so I used to love climbing that mango tree. Hmm.
I don't think I've seen, I think I might have to look that one up.
Hmm. I love mangoes. Yes.
Fruit fresh straight off the tree is just like a different
Hmm.
experience than grabbing it from the store. You climb the
Hmm.
tree, oh man, that was a lot of work. I'm kind of hungry now.
Yes,
There you go.
I used to be a little tomboy growing up, honey. I had five brothers that's, four older than me and then one younger than me. So I used to call myself trying to do everything they did, So I was like a little tomboy, with my brothers, but pretty much I was like a homebody, I stayed in home because, of being bullied at school and things like that and not having what a lot of kids had. But, that tree was in our backyard. So when I wanted me some mangoes, I go climb that tree and get me a mango and then go right back in the house and eat my green mango. But it was so good. Hmm.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm glad that that's like, I love searching for those shared experiences and being relatable and just kind of not just nostalgia, but it's like this
Hmm.
emotion of I'm finding it. It's like a love. It's like a shared love for something.
Hmm. Yeah. So now, out of in all of your writings, you have there. Is there any particular one that make you laugh every time you think about it, or you envision it, or when you was writing it?
Yes. I
Cause
don't know if
sometimes
I
I laugh at
should.
sometimes I laugh at myself when I'm writing something, and I be like, "Girl, you are so crazy," and it's just like nobody's in here but me, and I just burst out and laugh. So,
Absolutely. I try to have a sense of humor. There's one in here that's my favorite that's super, super funny, but I think that I want to leave it
okay,
until the book comes out, and that one's called
okay.
titled
Well,
Sloth.
don't give
So
everything.
if you ever read the book, Sloth is the funniest, but the second funniest I will share with you
Okay,
because it also has a little bit of a charm to it. So I think it's more appropriate for this
okay,
conversation.
okay,
If I show you the image now, it's going to spoil it. So I'm going to
okay,
show you the illustration after, but I did make um,
okay.
this little picture here for it. I guess the first line gives it away as well. Okay. So it is titled Till Tis Did. Tiltisdid.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I tried to abbreviate it to
Mm-hmm.
be like it's a poem about being lazy.
Okay.
I find myself anyway, I'll just read it and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
So this is wicker basket with a lid, now grown so heavy. Of course, it's past due for its time to be carried. It used to be, for weeks, that linens stayed there clean and made the delicate clothes so wrinkled. Tropical paradise can only keep lingering in fabric so long. Scent beads seem like just another step, and allergies can't handle too many chemicals anyway. It's
Mm-hmm.
time for them to be put away. Nowadays, there's a routine to get it done each week. Consistency lessens the workload, and when it's easy, it's more likely to be completed. So make the chores fun. Do it one pair of pants at a time, paused between songs. Do it after a snack and before a snack. Do it not till it's done, just to do it is enough. Dancing in the closet to a glittery pop melody each week, the chore of folding clothes seems daunting until I sing. As the basket gets lighter, dryer sheet trophies signify the deed is done. Now the question remains, just how can one make dishes fun?
So you threw the dishes in there, huh? It's like a cliffhanger.
Yeah, so
Let's
this is my
see.
little basket.
Okay, cute. And you drew that yourself?
I put the imagery together. I do
Okay,
some photo editing.
okay, okay. Awesome. You have a lot of talent, young lady. I am just so excited for you.
Thank you.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the funnier ones, for sure.
Yeah. Yes, I'm trying to picture you now, me seeing you in Walmart. You just look like you're just so shy, but you're just so outgoing.
So it was my job to, and I like to see it this way, to
Hmm.
help people.
Hmm.
Some people are lost, looking for something, don't know what they need, and I saw direct approach as a means of getting people to where they need to go. So that was my sort of motivation to be outgoing.
Hmm.
Without that motivation, I would say I'm a little bit less um, engaging. I'm more of an observational type of person.
Hmm.
I like to get to know somebody and see what's going on around me before I choose to act on what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling. Maybe a little bit too much. But I'm trying to find that balance.
Hmm. Well, that's a safe safety habit, I can say. Hmm. Yeah, it is. But you have a lot going for yourself. So, like I said, I'm very proud of you. I'm excited for you. I can't wait to see the finished product, and so that way I can see all of the artery that you know, artifacts and stuff you did in the book, and so I'm excited for you.
I think my favorite little picture I put together.
Hmm.
Let me see. I created one. Oh, well, okay. Do you mind if I share one more? Because it is pretty fun.
Sure.
So this one, I just basically took some sketches and put them together.
Hmm.
And this is what the imagery for it looks like.
Oh, that's
Peach,
nice.
thank you.
I see a
And just,
pineapple.
mm-hmm. We got banana. I think that's dragon fruit.
Hmm.
Strawberry. So this is called fruit soup.
Okay, that sounds delicious. I like every fruit you have there. I eat. Hmm.
Thank you. Oh man, I just found a typo.
You did.
I did, but that's okay because
Well,
it's a fun little typo.
it sound like you got time to fix it, so I wouldn't worry about it. Hmm.
This is the final draft. It's already been submitted to Amazon,
Oh, okay.
but I kind of like it.
Okay.
So the first two words are capital A smoothie, but
Mhm.
now it's a smoothie.
A smoothie. Okay.
It is a one word.
Well, that's not bad then. So I'm like you. I'll leave it. That's not a bad. Yeah, that's not bad.
I kind of like, I've now invented,
Hmm.
I'm just seeing it now, Jamba Juice, new product, a smoothie. And
Hmm.
it's pineapple and peach and banana and dragon fruit with a little strawberry
Yes.
on top.
Yes, that sounds delicious, girl. You make me want a smoothie now. I love smoothies with whipped cream. I don't know who like whipped cream, but I love whipped cream on everything. Yes, I love whipped cream on it all.
Whipped cream,
Hmm.
so many things. I put it in my tea.
Hmm.
You can put it in coffee.
Hmm.
One thing I've done recently is I get a mug of whipped cream
Uh-huh.
and I take Thin Mints and I get them cold. Put the Thin Mints in the fridge
Hmm.
and you dip it in the whipped cream.
Oh, that sounds good. Yes, girl, I love whipped cream. My daughter don't care for whipped cream like that. I'd be like, if you don't have whipped cream, I don't want it. I don't want to
More
drink.
for me?
Hmm. Yes. But that's been enlightening. I'm like I said, I'm glad you finally came on. I'm glad you shared your writings, and I'm just so excited for you. Like I said, I keep thinking about the Mary I met at the store, and looking at this Mary here. Just you're right, because you were standing back watching us that night, and but then you finally approached us, and you was able to give us the help that we needed. So then that's when I started talking to you about the podcast. So see, it all worked out. Hmm.
There's so many opportunities for networking and communication, because it feels like if you're just, oh, I'm getting a thing, I'm going to do this one thing and I'm going to get this one thing
Mhm.
and then I'm gone. And so many people have that mentality. So to take the time to stop and actually like have a conversation about what you're passionate about and to engage on
Mhm.
that level, it felt really special to me because in customer service, I was handling so many people a day and it did seem like just a transaction.
Mhm.
But that was an interaction. And it's things like that that kind of keep me going and I want to say cheer me up too because it's like, oh, you saw me as a person and you talked to me and we got together and we made something.
Mhm. Yes, yes, yes. And I would just I'm just thankful that you engaged me in conversation and you allowed me to show you my ideal of my podcast because I haven't even started it yet. I told you that it was coming. And you told me, you said, yeah. And I went home that night. I saw you had and went to my page and followed me. I told my daughter, I said, oh, look at Mary. She did go on and everything. So I was just real excited, so that you believed in, the vision that I had and that you came on. You shared your information tonight. So I'm very thankful for that because you didn't have to. So I really appreciate that and thank you so much. And once you get everything going and published, I have to have you come back so you can tell me all the feedback you're getting from, everything. Yeah, so I think everybody would like that.
I
Now,
really
before you
appreciate
go,
that.
you're welcome. Now, before you go, is there any last thing you want to say or mention about your book or anything you got going on?
I'm going to leave with this.
Okay.
Um, my preface.
Okay.
This is the first creation that I'm going to say it's not a poem, but I'm going
Hmm.
to call it one of my creative arts.
Okay.
And it's the first thing you read, but it's going to be the last thing I leave you with. For
Okay.
finding silver linings and choosing to see the bright side. The collection is a journey based on daydreams and days spent. May it illuminate a perspective on life that is optimistic in spite of difficulties.
Nice. That is awesome. And like I said before, thank you for sharing this with us. And you haven't even published it yet, and you shared it with everybody. So I appreciate it. And like I said, I most definitely want you to come back on, Mary, after it get published and you get all your feedback and you just tell me how does it feel to have your publication out there and people liking it, people responding and things like that. And I follow you on social media, so I'll be watching your page to see what you're doing as well.
I really appreciate that, and thank you for believing in my book.
You're
When we
welcome.
met, it was just an idea. It was
Hmm.
just an ad that I applied for, and it was something that I put a lot of work and a lot of time into, and it's something that I've been wanting to do. Some of these poems are from my middle school sketchbook,
Hmm.
so it's just been a whole journey, um,
I
and I think
understand. I understand because, like I told you, I have 4 books full. And this is from me working at fast food restaurants. After I ring up a customer, if I had a thought, I was putting it on a napkin or I was printing out the receipt paper. Or I just have everything together. And this stems back from, I ain't gonna tell y'all my age now, but I'm not scared to say my age. I'm 58 now. These writings, when I look at the book and because I date everything, so everything have a date on it. I have some writings back from 1999. I just never did anything up to 2000s up to now. So it's just like, and I even have some even before 1999. So I just have like as a matter of fact, I think I had one from way back in 1992. So it's just like I just keep everything in a book. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired of sitting on this information. Let me go ahead and get it together. So I did reach out to a publishing company. I told them to give me a moment, let me finish getting everything together and stuff like that. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and finish pursuing that this year. So we'll see what happens. Mhm.
I'd be really excited. And if you did want to have any sort of conversation about that, I want to hear some of your poems if you'd be happy enough to share them with me.
Yes.
and I hope you get to do your podcast about them. And I think it's just going to take off because when you really love something and
Mhm.
you put a piece of your passion into the world and you
Mhm.
get that feedback, it's just it's like this growing moment. It's like you planted that seed and you're waiting for the fruit to grow.
Mhm.
And so I hope that you have the patience with yourself,
Yes.
and it takes
Yeah.
courage, and that you feel that pride.
Mhm. Yes. Yes. It's just it's like a deep passion for me. So, and like I said, I've been sitting on it for years, and I just told my mom and my daughter, I was like, you know what? I feel like 2025 is just a year. I'm not holding back anymore. I'm just going to put myself out there. I accept whatever feedback I get because, feedback is negative feedback or positive feedback is all good feedback. So, I just look forward to, just experiencing it and just finally getting it out there. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Now, I did have one poem. I read one for you. Okay. Give me one second. Let me put on my glasses. I need my glasses.
Okay.
All right. So I will give you guys one. And this one is titled Mouthful of Forever. I am not the first person you loved. You are not the first person I looked at with a mouthful of forevers. We have both known loss like the sharp edges of a knife. Our love came unannounced in the middle of the night. Our love came when we've given up on asking love to come. I think that has to be part of its miracle. This is how we heal. I will kiss you like forgiveness. You will hold me like I'm hope. Our arms were bandaged and we would press promises between us like flowers in a book. I would write sonnets of the salt of sweat on your skin. I would write novels of the scar on your nose. I would write a dictionary of all the words I have used trying to describe the way it feels to have finally found you. And I will not be afraid of your scars. I know sometimes it's still hard to let me see you in an all correct perfection. But please know, whether it's the days you burn more brilliant than the sun or the nights you collapse into my lap, your body broken into 1,000 pieces, you are the most handsome thing I've ever seen. I will love you when you are still day. I will love you when you are a hurricane. I love you today. I loved you yesterday. I love you for the rest of my life. That's a mouthful of forever. Mhm. So that's one of my poems that I wrote. I had that for years. I wrote that back in the 1990s.
Really?
Hmm. Yeah.
I think something that I mentioned earlier that I want to bring back is like talking about
Hmm.
those timeless things.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that poem is timeless.
Yes.
I think that it's beautiful and that it's a description of love that it's like the scar on your nose. Like you remember every little thing
Hmm.
and love and appreciate. Um, just, it's not always loud. Love
Hmm.
is quiet. And that's like, it's like a whisper.
Hmm. Yeah. But yep. So I have plenty of those. Is some come from experience. Some come from hurt. From being in a relationship. Some come from seeing what other people go through. Um, yeah. So like I say, I have a lot because I have a real passion and a real love for people, and sometimes your hurt can turn into your success. I put it like that. Hmm.
Rain grows bells.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you, Mary. This was a very lovely conversation. I enjoyed it. I look forward to talking with you again and sharing insights and stories and different things like that. And so, like I said, we'll do it again. Most definitely will. Thank you for
I hope
coming on
so.
here, sharing all your information with the, everybody. So, people will see this when I publish it. So, I do appreciate you sharing your insights, and they get a
I
chance to.
appreciate you for inviting me on. And if you ever want to be in contact, I can send you the links for everything. And when, not if, when you get that poetry book published, I will be the first person to have a copy
Yeah.
at my door.
All right. Well, thank you, darling. Absolutely. Maybe I might talk to you and see like who the company you're going through and stuff like that. Maybe we might brainstorm a little bit. So
Absolutely, I'd be really happy to send you that information. It was one of the most streamlined and comfortable publishing processes that I could
mhm.
have imagined. They really took the headache out of everything for me.
Mhm. Yeah, but yeah, shoot me that information. Absolutely, because I'm very serious about this because I want to get this going. So I even entered some of my poetry into contests and won. Hmm. Yeah, so I'm excited. Yeah.
I think you could actually include that if you'd like to.
Hmm. Yeah, I did. I was surprised. I think I still might have the letter around here somewhere, or I don't know if I threw it away, but they sent me back and said that my portrait was chosen and it won the contest, and I was like, "Woo, yeah!" That was back in the '90s, so yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me?
No, that's it, darling. Once again, I thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I look forward to continuing this relationship. And you go ahead and send me the information, and then we'll talk further. Thank
All
you,
right.
Mary.
Thank you. Have a great
You
night.
you too. Bye.
Bye.